In this video, I want to examine the tools for arranging and sizing the UI elements in an ASP.NET application. For this demonstration, I'm using this Arrange in Web Forms application, and I've opened this Arrange Element.aspx page. Normally, when you open an ASPX page in Visual Studio, it starts in the source view, which is the HTML view. You can also look at the design view or the split view. I'll leave mine in split view for a few minutes. To add a control to an HTML page or an ASPX page, you open the toolbox and then you'll drag the control. I'll take this button and I'll drag it right here. Notice the little black dotted outline where I'm going to drop. There's a space in there so I can put it on either side of that space. I'll let go here and there's my new button. Now I'll try to put it between the big button and the small button. I'll drag it over. See the dotted line on the left side of the button? As I move my mouse over here, the dotted line will move between the two. I'll let go, and there's the button between the two existing buttons. To select an item, you click on it. Let's select this picture. And then to size the item, you grab one of these handles. On the image, you can grab the bottom or the left or the corner, and it'll keep the aspect ratio of the image the same. Let's see what that wrote. It wrote for me a style height equal 110px for me. I'll try this side here. Now it is dragging the left edge, and now you can see I have the width value. And now I can drag the corner to change both. That, of course, also works with buttons and other elements. To move an item, you would think you could use the up and down arrows, but you can't. You can only use the mouse. I'm going to drag this image up above the button. Before I do that, let me switch to the design view so I have more room on the screen. Now I'll drag this button up with my mouse and drop it here. Some of you are WPF developers or Windows Forms developers. You might be tempted to pick this image up and drag it over and drop it anywhere on the page, but that won't work. That's because of the way HTML and CSS work. If you really want to move it to an absolute position, you're going to have to change a CSS style. I'll show you how to do that in just a few minutes. To select multiple items, let me drag this picture down here, and then I'll select these two images, click on one, and then hold down the Control key and click on the other. Now I have these two items selected, and now I can do things like go to Format, choose Make Same Size, say height and width for both of these will be the same. Like that. Make this a little bit smaller and try this again. Control, click. Now I want to do some alignment. When I open this menu, you'll see that I can't. Also, when I go to the order, I cannot do anything because I'm not using absolute positioning yet. I'm going to show you how to use absolute positioning, but in many situations, that's the wrong thing to do in HTML and CSS. But here's how you do it. You go up to the Set Position and choose Absolute. Now when I go back to that menu, I can now choose to align them to the right edge. It didn't do exactly what I wanted. That's because it depends on the order you select the items. I'll Control Z. I'll select this bottom image, then Control click the top image. Now I'm going to go to Format. And because I turned on absolute positioning, I now can choose this right alignment. Let's see what happened in my HTML. It changed my style to say position equal absolute. The Visual Studio layout engine for ASP.NET is not as flexible as the one in WPF or Windows Forms, but that's because we're working with HTML and CSS.